What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's
Talking some
going
football.
on?
My bad. My
What's
bad.
going on?
What up? What up? We a little bit late, but we in there.
Are we? What time is it?
6 minutes.
Oh
Nah,
yeah,
we in there though. We in
we
there.
we in the give a minus.
Okay, that's what it
Yeah,
is. You don't get docked.
right.
15 minutes you get docked.
Yeah,
Okay, we on
yeah.
the clock. We on the clock. What's up, peoples?
What's
What's going
going
on?
on?
Okay.
Tuesday night.
What's going on with you, man?
Not too much. Enjoyed my holiday, Thanksgiving. I
Okay,
know
thank
everybody
you.
don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but
Mm-hmm.
I do, and I
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed it being with my family.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite time of the year, from this
Okay.
point on to the end to New Year. So.
Okay. You like the Robin season. That's what you like.
it's def it's definitely that.
That's what
It is
they
definitely
break. Hey,
that.
they breaking in cars
They,
downtown.
they
Just to let y'all know.
yeah, but they started early. They've been
Mm?
doing that all
Oh yeah.
year.
Oh
My
yeah. Pretty
goodness.
much. Mm,
But this is definitely robin season
mm,
in this city. I
mm.
don't know how it is everywhere else, but in
Hey,
this
in New
city,
Orleans too.
yeah.
And it's like that. And I think in every urban, hood, city, major city with black folks that be
It's a
doing things.
urban hood city.
Urban hood.
I
So urban. So black.
so black,
So poor.
so poor.
Shout out to who said that? That was
That
a
was one of them senators, wasn't it?
no. It was a new like a newscaster, but
Oh
that
yeah,
was for when Katrina
it
happened.
was for Katrina. But I'm
Yeah,
trying to think who was that?
I
So
can't
black
remember.
and so poor. Yeah, it was one of the dang on news people.
Yeah, it was the news people. But anyway, let me
But
get down to it. I got something
what,
queued up.
what we got?
So this topic today is it's called Vanishing Act, or black men going to be a dangerous species. I might be saying it wrong. I don't know. I correct the title. It's
I,
not.
I think I understand what you're saying.
But
So
yeah, are black men going to be an endangered species? One second, let me pull it back up. Hear a little bit more feedback. There we go. All right, so this video right here we have is a content creator. This is on YouTube. I'm just gonna play it, and I hope y'all hear it. Well, I'm gonna put it to the mic so y'all can hear it, but it's on YouTube. So the topic of it, I guess something happened where a guy, black man, killed his wife or whatever.
oh,
Hold on a second. And this was a while back. Let me turn the
got bad.
yeah. There we go. All right. All right. Here we go.
I just wanted to tell you also, it's really
Okay.
interesting the amount of pushback that's coming back the without any opposition to men that are derelict and men that are harming women, right? But what's crazy to me is, that I'm seeing. I only got sent a screenshot just recently. Men are in some of these men are in support. I'm seeing more and more men, even men that have been loosely affiliated with the Black Manosphere, saying abort.
Of course they are.
Two men actually shared an abort message today that like some of these men need to have been aborted. But see, here's my problem with that. Sure, abort. I think is that abort.
Keep talking while I run upstairs real quickly.
Okay, no problem. I would say that abortion has definitely is something that Black women should be considering when it comes to giving birth to these men. And again, I know that a lot of people are looking at it as if it's something horrible, that it's genocidal. But at this point, it literally is connected to your survival. There is nothing or no one in place to protect and defend Black women, including Black men, against our biggest enemies and our biggest threats. As we've said time and time before, most of us that have weapons to defend ourselves, we did not purchase those weapons with black. I mean, sorry, with having the understanding that we were going to have to protect ourselves from white people. It just is what it is. I was on Black Femicide again, and there was a case that came up that I was actually familiar with, a young girl. If you're from Chicago or that area, you will know that the situation with Ryan Harris, a little girl who I want to say Ryan was 6 years old, but anyway, it was a horrible situation, and I may do content on it, but he's up for he's trying to get clemency, right? There are other cases that I was looking into earlier today as I was preparing my content of a man that just went to prison less than 5 years ago for murdering his wife. He's getting out. These men are not willing to protect you from that element. So why would you keep giving birth to that element? Cynthia saying thin the herd is literally a matter of survival at this point.
Okay, we'll stop there.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, no, yeah. And the thing was, I heard of that secondhand. I didn't. This is my first time really hearing the whole thing.
Okay.
I heard it secondhand. He's like, "Hey, you need to check this out," and I'm like, "Okay." And I've heard it from on a couple of other platforms, and they're like, "Okay, let me pull it up." But her argument, and I don't know if you checked out that show. Why? I told
No,
you.
I
You
have
check
not.
it. Okay.
I have not.
So since I told you that, right? I heard Kevin Samuel talk about he watched that, you know,
Okay.
in a couple other podcasts. But and they canceled the show.
What show?
The
Why?
charges, yeah, they canceled the show.
So I can't.
You can watch it, but they
still-
canceled
they
for
not
next
making-
season.
They might,
Yeah,
okay,
they
might.
cancel next season. They're not gonna bring it back. I think it had a lot of pushback from women, because it was kind of
It was true.
no. It was just, you know.
I got to see it.
should-
Don't,
Okay.
I gotta
Anyway,
see it so I can.
anyway,
I want to be biased when I go.
no,
watch
yeah,
it.
but the whole thing about this, right? And she's trying to make an argument that black men are bad, right? Black men inherently
Absolutely.
bad. That's what that argument is.
I heard it. You know, like I said, it caught me off guard because
Mm.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you know what the video was,
Mm.
but that's interesting. You know, that's my favorite word. It's interesting, but and she was I don't think that was tongue in cheek or
No,
that
no.
was you know, in you know, just I don't know how to describe that. She was serious about, I guess, if you know that you having a black male, you need to go ahead. You need to really consider not bringing him into this world. That's saying a lot. And you know, we in a time now when everybody's a victim.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'll be the first to admit bad things happen all the time.
Mhm.
She was talking about some man just killed his wife or something like that. But let's be honest, that's not the norm.
No.
And you know, that's not what's killing black women. That's, you know, not their husbands. But the way she's talking about it as though this is a epidemic.
Mhm.
You know, where, you know, husbands killing their wives, you know, just, you know, willy nilly, you know, and doing not much time for it. You know, she's talking about the protection, who's going to protect them. You know, the money, where the money came from for the weapons they bought to protect themselves. That is she on a whole new level, man. That's
So the thing is, historically, right?
uh,
I don't know that case or whatever, but historically, black men get more time than anybody. Historically,
absolutely.
you know, when they do stuff. There was just I was trying to pull it up too.
And I'm gonna jump in
Go
there.
ahead.
I'm just gonna say men in general get more time,
Yeah.
and then black men get even let's be getting a heavier burden than everybody.
Mhm.
But men in general get punished way more severe for the same crimes as their counterparts. When I say that, I'm talking about women. But black men, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say I read that, but theirs is even their time is even heavier. Their
Who?
punishment, black men's
Yeah.
punishment,
Oh yeah.
is heavier
Yeah.
than everybody's.
Yeah. Oh, then everybody. Yeah.
They beating everybody out.
So that's what that whole thing, like what she's trying to push that agenda is that, okay, evil men, they're not gonna do time for the crime. That's bullshit.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what aspect she's talking from. You know, everybody got their own story, but she was speaking in general as though they out here killing these women and then they not even getting really real time for it. And I know that's not the case. You know, it just don't work that way. Especially when you I think the time may be worse when you commit a crime against a female, like murder or assault, you know, versus a male. But I mean, and it shouldn't be because the law is the law.
The law, yeah.
But you know, judges, I tell everybody, the judge, the baddest man in the world, they can do whatever they want in their courtroom. It's up to you to have the money and the means to
get out there,
to pull up the Constitution or the law and have it represented for you by a lawyer. So
yeah, they had two cases just last week. So one was this guy Kevin Strickland. He served 43 years for wrongful conviction.
43 years.
He was 18 when they charged him for murdering somebody. This happened in Missouri. He's 62. He's 62. And yeah, he was at home watching TV. He was at home watching TV. They didn't have the evidence, and did like what they usually do. You got to prove yourself innocent, not They have the burden. The state has the burden.
Right. I wonder how they came across this guy, man. I'm telling you, so many of these stories are interesting. How they get to these final decisions. And if you can never get a chance, like to read these different transcripts and stuff on these cases, some of it is, it's like I said, it's time consuming because you're talking about word for word court reporting, but it's definitely worth it.
And there's a whole group. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a whole group that what they do, they go through these court cases and they find out, which men were convicted wrongfully convicted or whatever, and they're getting them off. They're going.
I know.
I
I
can't
guess
remember.
it's probably several groups that do it,
but it's one that's been real. I mean, that's
the one that was working with
Kim Kardashian. She's been working one.
Okay,
yeah,
that's the one she's working with.
But I don't know if that's the same group, but I know there was a name of a group that they were going to help black men, whatever, looking at people's cases. There's also this author named Alice Sabold. She falsely accused somebody back in 1981 of rape. Right? She wrote a whole book on it and everything. And he served let me see, he was 18 years old. No, I'm sorry. She was 18. He was 20. I don't remember who he was. No. Yeah, hold on. He did 16 years behind bars. I don't know how it was. Anyway, yeah, he did 16 years behind bars, but they let him out because they found out he was, it wasn't him. It took him 40 years to be exonerated for their crime.
So was she raped?
She was raped.
But not by him.
But not by him. She picked anybody out, basically.
She just said, yeah, he a dude.
Yeah. She basically picked anybody, and that's exactly what happened.
So did she get any kind of punishment behind that?
And that never happens. And that's part of it. Is like, when something happens in the court system, the burden is on the man.
Yeah,
the burden is on the man.
You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But that so often that they try so many things in public eye, and our women are to be believed in so many instances, and you can't do that. You got to hear the evidence. I don't care how shut and dry, or what they call it, shut and dry cases. Yeah. But I mean, even when like you see the person like on the news, you see somebody commit a crime and they still call them a suspect. That's because we're still trying to use the presumption of innocence until we take it through the proper channels to prove this person guilty. But that in so many cases when it's dealing with especially like rape, if she said it was him, it's he gonna have to have some heavy evidence,
some heavy proof.
To change that. So that's damn 16 years.
And the thing was, he was supposed to be serving a life sentence. So something happened. I can't remember the story. I'm sorry, y'all, because I knew the story when it came out. I fully read the story, but it was so much stuff going on. So I know that what happened when they brought her there to look at the pictures, and she didn't notice him at first. She passed over this dude. He was
and came back to him.
And you're sure, you know how they do. You're sure.
Well,
and
maybe let me.
Yeah. Let me look at this. So he was the guy's name Anthony Broadwater. That's his name.
Okay.
And like I said, since then she did in 1999 she wrote a whole book about it. Went viral for the back in the day. Went viral for back then. And since then, I think it was last week, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of pulled her, pulled her book and everything.
Nobody was buying it now. She made all the money off of it.
Yeah. Well, and that's true. That's true. I guess. I don't know.
So, okay, so she wrote the book. Did she ever say that there was any doubt in her mind did she know? You know what I'm saying? Because there is a psychological impact where you can make yourself believe certain things. She was definitely raped. But she was, and because she had a picture of someone, and she was like, oh yeah.
That does happen. But
they say the worst person to ask about what happened at a crime scene is somebody who was there,
who went through it,
who experienced it. Because they create a whole new image in their head of what actually happened a lot of times. That's man. I wish I had someone. I wish I had 48 hours in the day so I could just spend half the time like researching
So
certain
let me
stuff.
tell you. Let me tell you, Ram. It said no there was nobody arrested at the time that it happened, but months later she insisted she passed her attacker on the streets.
Oh,
He
like
was
after the fact?
Yeah, he was smiling as he approached her. As he approached, he recognized me. It was a stroll in the park. So this man probably passed her and just smiled at
He
her
probably thought she was cute or something. He
and
probably,
just smiled at her.
yeah.
And hey girl, he said, don't I know you from somewhere? I looked directly at him, knew his face had been the face over me in the tunnel. She immediately reported the encounter to police, who swept the area but could not find him. Once officer claimed Broadwater had been in the area at the time, and he was brought in for the police lineup, but Sabold initially failed to pick him out. She admits in her book that out of the five black men presented, she picked a different man because the expression in his eyes told me that if we were alone, if there were no walls between us, he would call me by name and then kill me. She said it dawned on her moments later she had picked the wrong man because they looked almost identical. She would later identify Broadwater in court.
So is she admitting right there that she realized she's picked the wrong man in Broadwater? Is what you're saying?
No, I think she said the other guy, the guy she picked,
She picked somebody else,
and then in
and,
court, yeah.
and then she said, "Nah, but it's this other cat."
Mm. Despite the initial misidentification, the prosecutor case would largely hinge on the police lineup, as well as testimony from a forensic chemist claiming microscopic hair analysis tied Broadwater to the crime scene. So they were saying that microscopic, that forensic analysis
Right.
was deemed junk science by the Department of Justice.
It is. All these different TV
Mm.
programs.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna jump in there. All
No,
these
go ahead,
different
go ahead.
TV programs where they show like the blood splatter and all that. It's all bullshit.
Mm.
It's like it's entertainment.
Mm.
Very little of that is ever used in a court
Mm.
case to get a conviction. I mean, you can put it in
Yeah,
there
you can put it in
and
there.
try
but
to increase your chances in the case, but it hadn't been.
It-
The majority of it hadn't. Only thing that's been proven is DNA.
DNA. So it's really to try to shake the person that's on trial. That's what it's really about.
It's bullshit. Is what it's called. That's but the fact that he had this horrible pickup line is why she figured that this was don't I know how many people have used that to try to hey,
I'm never using that again. Nah, shit, fuck that shit.
I never said that, but I know it's been used before.
Never using it. I'm not using it.
He didn't have any originality about himself, and he ended up. He said 16 years.
16 years.
Man.
16 years. And he also was saying how, and I remember this part of it because it was crazy to me, because being a man, but I've never been through this. So I've never been wrongfully convicted or anything. And I've never that's a whole nother psychological torture, being somewhere knowing that you didn't do shit.
That's the worst.
But you're there.
That's the worst thing in the world. Is to be, I'm gonna call it being lied on when it wasn't you, but somebody is convinced that it was you. That's I think everybody may have been wrongly accused about something before in their life. You know how you feel when somebody, and it could be something as trivial as you ate my piece of pizza, something stupid.
No, I remember the first lie I told in the world is because I was lied on. I was like, I didn't want my ass whipped, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell this lie.
Oh, okay.
So
that's first. So you remember your?
I remember
lie.
that because I got my ass whipped. That's why, because I got my ass whipped. So his whole thing was he was able to get a girlfriend, and they got married or whatever, but he wouldn't have kids because he didn't want to put his kids through the shame of what he was going through. So he kind of held his life off, because he didn't went through some shit. His name is now soiled or whatever.
You can't come back from rape.
And he was on the sex offender list. That's the other reason.
Always a rapist. I don't care if they ever find you, exonerate you and say, "Oh no, it didn't happen. You didn't do it." You're gonna always be a rapist. Rape and child molestation. You do not come back from those two. I don't care. Who clears you. Somebody out there say, "Yeah, that's the guy."
Yeah, they could point you out.
Or that's the guy out there raping women. So those are two things you cannot come back from. People will accept you after you murder somebody.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, well, you did your time. It's all good." But if you ever accused of being a rapist, that's gonna stick with you. So men, protect yourself.
Yeah, protect yourself and your image, your whatever, your name and everything, because that's one of them things.
You're not coming back from that.
But these stories tied in, these guys were innocent. There's a lot of guys that have been in this situation. They find them every year. They find another black man that was innocent of a crime they was convicted of, and you know, we know we have a lot of brothers that do some crazy stuff, and that deserve to be in jail. But
They
um,
earn their way in there. Yeah.
think about the men that don't. The men that
And
that are
see,
just
how do you write that?
there's no way.
Yeah, you can't fix that. Time is the most precious thing in the world, and
Mm.
you can't get that back. It's no amount of money. It's no about of apologies and to get any of that back. You talking about? You said that dude did 43 years
Hmm. Yep.
in a cell. I can't. I'm. That's almost as long as I've been alive.
Yeah. Behind bars for something he didn't do. So, I mean, aside from that type of stuff, I mean, like I said, we all agree that criminals, people that are criminals, need to be where they
Yeah,
end
they,
up,
they
but
need they need to be punished
they need to be
accordingly.
punished accordingly. However law says they need to be punished. But then when you have situations like this where you have guys that are innocent,
Mhm.
how can we even, unless we got video with, uh
Text
Dave
message.
Chappelle. Remember the grandmama sitting there in a license with his holding his license.
Oh, you had to get the consent
Yeah,
form. You talking
no. You remember we was talking about R. Kelly? It said, I don't believe that was R. Kelly.
about?
The grandmother could be sitting there and he have his license, holding his license up. Unless you have like DNA evidence or whatever, something like that.
Right.
Or whatever. I mean, as they say, we all look alike. So
Oh God.
I'm not being. I mean, I had a situation like that the other day. Like, okay, are you? No, it's
Nah,
not me.
not
It's
me.
not me. No, not I.
Now, who
Um,
was accusing you of being someone else?
no, it was just some on the streets. I don't
Okay.
remember. I was out in Buckhead, and
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Good
yeah,
old
no, it's
Buckhead.
not me. But we have those issues. We also have in our own community. I mean, we can end up dead in our own community. I was going to talk about this last week, but because the topic was going to be when black men beef, the community suffers. So I was going to talk about the young Dolph situation,
Right.
and I told you about that. So he was on his own neighborhood, right? He was passing out turkeys in the neighborhood, I think the day before,
Really.
for Thanksgiving, and then the next day he's going to get some cookies supporting a black business, and he gets killed. He gets gunned down. Assassination. It was assassination. That's
So,
what it was.
so
Yeah.
I was gonna say, was
Yeah.
it some kind of retaliation for something,
I
or if
don't
it
know if it was
just
retaliation.
they just say we gonna
Mm.
we gonna take care of him?
Yeah.
Or
We're gonna take him out.
wow. I mean, what? How bad could it be? We I guess we just don't value life the same.
No, and we don't. Like we have um today they just had a school shooting.
Really? Where was that?
It was in Michigan somewhere.
Wow.
A 15-year-old shot. I want to say 6 people. 3 of them died so far. I don't know, but yeah, we don't value life, and yeah, it's crazy. Where did this come from? That's the whole thing. When did we stop? Valuing human life.
I believe in 100% accountability, but I have to lend some of it to our forms of entertainment.
Mm,
We see life being, how you say art imitates,
yeah,
or life
life imitates
imitates
art.
art,
Hmm.
and vice versa.
Hmm.
We see life being frivolous
Hmm.
in art a lot of times, and in our music,
Hmm.
in the TV programs. And I think people take that stuff to heart. I don't think a lot of people, even I used to be able to say young people didn't understand. You don't get to come back from that, but now it's like it's no longer young
There's no
people.
age range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the level. I'm gonna call it ignorance. The level
Hmm.
of ignorance on how definite, or uh uh what's the word I want? I guess definite is good. Death is.
Hmm.
That's the end. That's
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
You don't get to come back. You don't get another life. You don't get to show up on a different TV show next week. You die on this one, but you
Hmm.
get to come on.
Yeah. On another. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That's it. As far as I know, you only get one life to live,
Hmm.
and a lot of them being cut short by, like I said, a lack of compassion.
Hmm.
I don't know what it is.
Senseless violence. Just I can't remember how long ago this was, but we just had a woman killed her husband, killed herself. It was here in Georgia, and they was from I want to say it's from Tennessee also. They
Really?
moved down here. They some kind of they had some kind of church situation going on, and
Boy, them
and
churches, boy, I tell you.
she was had her own business or whatever, and I think what end up happening, he was going to go through divorce. He was going to divorce her, something like that, whatever.
Hmm.
But she took his life and took her own life. But yeah, we don't value life no more, and a lot of times, um, we even see that what we just heard, right? They
Yes,
definitely don't value
yeah.
black men life.
She was like, get rid of their ass.
Hey, abort them before they even get a chance to
Don't even
even
give him
do
a chance.
anything.
He is
Yeah.
a killer. He's
Mm.
a predator in the
Mhm.
womb.
And the crazy thing about that, right, is that black men are more likely to protect you,
Probably than any other race of men.
and we have that bad stigma.
Wow. But I'm just curious, where is she coming from to feel like that? And
Well, I mean, the cases. I mean, if you so if and I think she said Chicago. Chicago's one of them places. It's rough, right?
yeah, yeah.
But if you see something every day, I can understand feeling like, yeah, this is the issue. But the thing is, you have to look back to. I mean, you have to always look back. Like, how did we get this way, right?
Hmm.
Um, we were. Damn it! I meant to. I wanted to pull something up before we got on here. I'll do it afterwards. Remind me. I got to post a commercial for next week.
Okay.
Um, but when we look back, right, it used to be where we were in unity, right? We were together. We was about family. We was
Yeah.
about morals and everything else. We had standards. Um, when we let go of those standards, it's just like everything goes. Survival of fittest, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
So with these young men, I mean, yeah, they're men, but then you got to always go back and look at how they're being raised.
And they're males, is what they are.
Yeah, well, yeah, young males. Yeah, they're males, and
Yeah.
we're going to distinguish that. I'm glad you say that because next week we're going to distinguish something else, but it's not going to be on the men's side. It's going to be
Okay.
on the women's side because women have some contention with using the word females. Which is we make that distinction. Men are there's men and there's males.
Hmm.
And it's all about how you act.
Right.
What you do. So, but we got to look at how they're being raised.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
We.
go ahead.
No. I mean, I was just really just agreeing with you, but even even where she lives, she unless she goes out to seek this information, it's I don't think it could be happening on a level that consistent where she feels like women need to really consider aborting their male children before before they're up to term. I and like I said, I don't know. I don't live there, but I'm just trying to imagine what kind of world did she grow up in where she feels like that'll solve the problem. We just get rid of these jokers before they ever come out the womb.
And it really don't matter. All it takes is fear, to spread fear,
Yeah, and
for somebody to catch on and want to do some shit like that.
well, she seems pretty serious. If she had the right resources, I guarantee you she'll put it into play. I mean, just listening to her, I was taken aback a little bit. I wasn't expecting it, but yeah, she was she, she was serious about aborting black males.
And it's crazy that when you do such a thing, we talk about this, right? We already being I'm not gonna say hunted down. We already being targeted. You know, uh, Racial profiling was about black men. Let's get it right. It wasn't about black women.
No,
It was about black men. Racial profiling was strictly about arresting black men,
no, yeah,
targeting black men to arrest them. Um, when you got that going on, and you got the crime in the neighborhood, then you have people like this talking about abort black babies. I mean, when it comes down to it, right? And tell me if you've heard this before, but I've heard. I mean, for the longest that the other folks always been kind of wanting some kind of racial war or something like that. In certain places, you hear stuff every so often. You hear certain things about other people wanting to have a racial war.
yeah.
So if something like that came to play, who gonna protect you? Like who you gonna have?
Maybe well, we in the age where women taking on the roles of men, they probably feel like in their mind they, oh, I can do this, but it's a big difference than thinking what you can do and then being able to do something. It's a very big difference. But you're right. Who you gonna turn to for your protection if that ever happens? That won't happen. But hey, we're making what 16% of the population? No,
Mm-hmm.
13%.
About 13-14%.
13, so hey, and then only less than half of that is men.
Yeah, that's it. Like
So-
yeah, about 49% is men, whatever.
So yeah, that's the right. That's yeah. We come on. I'm all about the math equation. Everything for me is a math equation, and that math don't add up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Once you bring up the math of stuff, a lot of stuff won't add up.
Right. That math don't add up.
You have to be logical about the stuff. 1 second, I'm pulling this up. But yeah, you just have to be logical about it, and just to say some reckless shit like that is how are you gonna populate? How are you gonna keep the black race going if you do some shit like
I
that?
don't think that's concern at all. So many women are not even kids or having a family. They
Mhm.
might. Children are an accessory now. They're not
Oh
really.
yeah.
They're not. Carrying on the legacy. They're more like, I think I want one baby. Because I
Mhm.
feel like I need one child. It's to go along with the house and the car and whatever lifestyle. I might maybe two. Or maybe I'll have twins. They got it now. You can have twins.
You could designer baby.
Designer babies. So,
Mhm.
And it's so funny. I always say, just because you can do something, don't mean you should.
Mhm.
And we have come so far in the world with technology on the things that we can do, but it's got a lot of unintended consequences.
Mhm.
Like you said,
Yeah.
designer baby. So now people feel like, oh well, we forgot the whole point of having kids. It's to
Mhm.
keep the human
To
race
keep the
going.
human race going, not to appease your
right,
your
not,
need to
not,
have something
not to show
cute
out,
and whatever.
not to fill in a void or to have a certain look or a certain appearance in society. It's to continue the human race. We're supposed to be getting bigger.
Mhm.
It's a very big planet. I know people always talk about overcrowding, but believe me, it's so much land out there,
And with that, we got so many people dying from we got the baby boomers dying.
Yeah.
They're going off. You got people sickness, cancer type stuff. Then we got COVID that's taking people out like that, like crazy. So
I've lost 2 aunts and 2 uncles this year. This is
this year.
This year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this year. Matter of fact, I got a funeral to go to tomorrow.
Damn.
Yeah, hey,
Sorry to hear that.
This year been rough on the fam, man. I was like, wow.
Was it COVID?
But it no COVID. I don't know anyone who passed from COVID. But this but
Let it out, brother.
I had to let it out. I have to remind myself that's where I am in life too.
Yeah.
Life is in stages, and like in the movie life, we next on deck.
We next up on deck. Next, how did them youngsters say? Next on deck. We next.
Yeah, but that's just where I am. And it's kind of disheartening, but then it also. I try to look at stuff from the other side. Well, that means I need to take more advantage of the time I have with the people who I got left.
And that's the thing that people don't. They're always looking at what's next to do. What can I do? Let me go travel. Let me go do this stuff. And what can I do for me?
Right.
And don't understand you have work to do. That's once again next week we're gonna talk about some shit. I got the commercial. Got it queued up now. But hold that. Look, multitasking. Look at me, y'all. Yeah. So the thing is that we have work to do. The people before us knew they had work to do before they left off this earth.
Right.
You don't see that now. We don't see it in our community, in our age range. You don't see much of that.
No, like kind of what I just hit on about keeping the human race going. We lost sight of what our whole purpose for being here is. Now it's the now. It's the personal. How can I I want to, and there's nothing wrong with your personal wants because that's how life progressed. That's how I think that's how things get invented. That's how businesses are created. That's how societies are made great. But all of that, it has its place.
Hey Ashley, what's up?
What's going on, Ashley?
Ashley, over on Black Girl Interrupted. Check her out. She's on all platforms. Yeah, I can't even say what it is. YouTube, Facebook. She's on Clubhouse. She's everywhere. She's all of them. Every she's on Spotify. Everywhere you see it, look up Black Girl Interrupted. She's on it. I'm going to talk to Ashley this week or whatever about next week's topic because I want to bring her in on it, and I have some other guests I want to try to get in on this conversation about next week. Where I'm at? Oh, here. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna run a commercial real quick.
All right, let's check it out.
And then we're gonna come back. Yeah, so
You
that's what.
produced that?
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
man.
not the music. Nah, that music I got somewhere else. It's
But you
yeah,
did
yeah.
put together a nice piece of
I
work there,
appreciate
man.
it, appreciate you, bro. So I'm gonna tell you the impetus of this, right? Um, Wherever you go, you start talking to women about certain things. And this goes back to our topic, really, too. It's like it all goes together. You start talking to women about certain things. Where are the good men at? Where are the men at? This, that, the other, right? Then you start talking about leadership, right? Men are supposed to lead this, that, the other. All right. You start talking about all this shit. But when you get a man talking about some stuff and you trying to do something about it, when the women are gonna talk about it, they want to deflect certain things. They don't want to talk about the real shit. They just want you to say what they want you to say.
Hey,
And this is the whole thing. We need to talk about the relationships. We need to talk about in the black community relationship. Like all those pictures I use, it was pictures of families. Families used to be father, mother, children. Now it's mother, children.
yeah,
They consider that a family now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The black family is definitely fractured.
Mhm.
But I go back to the word accountability,
Mhm.
and it's so in America in general we have been allowed to for a lack of accountability, especially in certain. I'm gonna go ahead and say women. In many cases, they are not held accountable for a lot of the decisions they make or the
Mhm.
things they do, and you know, I, people. I know that ruffles people's feathers the wrong way, but accountability is what it boils down to. Like you was talking about, when you're ready to have this conversation, then like you say, they don't want to. They
They
just
don't
want
want
to
to hear
hear.
male
They
leadership,
want
but
to
they
hear
want,
what they
yeah,
want to hear.
yeah, yeah.
The deflection
Mm.
comes in. So it's accountability, man. It's. I know people hate this term. I don't even like the term gender roles,
Mm.
but believe it or not, we were designed to do certain things. Simple
Mhm.
as that. But we out of. I'm just saying we out of order.
Mm.
My personal.
Shout out to Shahrazad Ali that first brought that up in 89, 90 about us being out of order.
It's a real
Um,
thing.
yeah. So with that, uh, oh, over here, you know, whenever we address women, whenever we have these topics that might like cause contention or whatever with women, we always have women guests on to talk about this. We're not gonna do anything to where we're sitting here just talking about women, and
Right.
seem a certain way. We're gonna have women guests on. We're gonna have the conversation actually, and like I said, you've been watching maybe some of the same stuff I've been watching over here on the Manosphere side and stuff, and it's about time that we cut all the foolishness, stop all
Man.
the smoke and mirror stuff, and
Hey,
just get to it.
well, and I'm a hopeful guy. I
Mm,
believe, it ain't over till it's over,
mm.
to the buzzer,
That
blow.
buzzer beater.
But like I said, you get different information on the
Mm,
manosphere. But if you just look around,
mm.
uh, it's we in dire straits right
Yeah.
now, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's really, I mean, they put enough in front of you to think that we're doing good. Black people doing good. They put enough in front of you. Girls trip,
I'm,
dudes going on trips to different place, DR and all this stuff. They put enough stuff in front of you so you could get,
our
you can have
mindset,
blinders on,
yeah,
man.
our mindset is yeah, it's garbage right now.
Hmm.
It's awful, man. I mean, and I don't want to start, calling out names and stuff because because when people not here to defend themselves, I think it's not the
Hmm.
thing to do. But I know people pretty well, and I'm just like, let's get back to reality. Come
Yeah.
on, come on.
Yeah. We used to be. I mean, we used to be rooted. This community used to be rooted
In
in
reality,
reality.
because of what our forefathers went through,
Mm,
what we went through, getting to this point
mm,
we are today.
mm,
You had to. You couldn't play this fantasy
mm.
world shit that people playing now. So it's what they call reality now is actually fake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. If you go on the internet, reality is
Right.
you start digging, start looking. It's like nobody can live like this.
No,
Not for long.
I mean, even these, I fall into the wormhole sometime when I'm on YouTube,
Mm,
and these people doing these different little pranks. I'm like, when did it become a thing to record every aspect of your life? But they do these pranks, and they so outrageous. And then if you just pay attention to some of the nuance,
mm.
you realize they
Yeah,
set the whole
they
thing
set it
up.
up.
It's not
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
even
Mhm.
real. It's not even a real prank. So it's like,
They trying to get clicks so they make money off you.
but that's considered reality
Mm.
now. Being fake.
And that's why you have children out here doing whatever.
Doing
Go look at they looking at TikTok all day, my son included. All damn day looking at TikTok, looking at crazy shit,
yeah.
and like they don't get a chance to actually experience. We used to be good gauges of character.
Oh man,
We used to be good gauges of what was actually real. Like, hey,
man,
we ain't doing that. I ain't doing now. These kids, oh, they could do everything.
they don't have a clue.
They don't have a damn
And
clue.
I had this conversation with my kids all the
Mm,
time. I said, unfortunately, you guys are growing up in a time when human beings
mm,
don't interact the way human beings are
mm,
supposed to.
mm,
So you don't know the really you text. We went from writing letters to
mm,
talking to each other to back to writing letters again.
mm.
So now we lose all kind of context and everything, and now we assume a lot of things. I heard certain individuals say, "Are they trying to be funny?"
Mm,
Reading something. I'm like,
mm.
how do you know what they're? Oh, I know.
Well, you could tell by
You
the
could,
context. You could tell
and I'm
sometime by the
thinking
context.
that
But I
is,
understand what you're saying.
but um, that we pretty much though, like you were saying,
Mm,
my kids they didn't get the luxury of being good judges of character because
mm,
they never interacted on the same level that we did with
mm.
other kids growing up or just other people. Period. The way we were raised, technology has separated us. Like I said, just because you can do something don't mean you should. The better the technology gets, the further separation we get. Because
Yeah.
I mean, look at what's coming out now. You're talking about virtual reality.
Oh,
You're
the
talking,
metaverse is coming.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So you don't even have
yeah.
to interact with other
No.
people ever again.
You can sit in your room and have all kind of interactions.
With
You transport from one place to another, jump from one place
yeah,
to another, and interact with everybody. And
yeah,
it's gonna be people gonna be up like, oh, this is the shit.
yeah.
This is
That's
it.
you know, just because you can don't mean you should. But
Mm,
that's what's coming next, or that's really what's already here. It's
it's
here
already here.
already.
Yeah.
It's just not everybody doesn't have access to
Mm,
it yet. Everybody's not. immersed in it. But once they find that thing for each person, because it's gonna be tailor made. It's gonna suit. Okay, you into whatever. This is for you.
This is your world.
This is your world, and I can only imagine it's gonna be like COVID because nobody's gonna be outside. Everybody's gonna be in the house, doing whatever they do in their
It's the
virtual.
evolution of the what you call the analog, not the analog. What I'm trying to say is the evolution of when you go on something and you can see only your world. You can see what you want to see.
It's utopia.
Yeah, it's a utopia. Yeah, that's what it is.
But that's not real, and so you lose your. I'm getting ready to preach a little bit.
Go ahead, brother. Let's go.
You lose your soul.
Get my tambourine. Hold on.
But I mean, when you do that, but you lose yourself, you lose your soul, you lose who you are as a person because that's really what's going on right now. It's all about divide and conquer right now.
Yeah, well,
everything
it's been that way. It's not. Yeah,
I say right now, but
it's been like
to me
that,
right now is at a higher level than I've ever experienced, and I ain't that old, so my experience is limited. But it used to be a time when people could do certain things, but now it's like even amongst a community, oh you do this, well nah, we can't, I can't fool with you, and it's trivial things that splinter people, and I'm trying to figure out when did it become a bad thing to be different, to disagree. Now, if you disagree with somebody, they don't want to have nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
It's like it's like you got to be part of this echo chamber. You
you got to be part of the echo chamber to be in with the in crowd.
Yeah, if you're not with it, then you some kind of traitor or whatever the topic.
You're a leper. That's what it is.
You're
a leper. You over there up on your own.
Yeah, you covered in sores. But it's, and that's just another. I guess that's a further example of division. Once you get people isolated by themselves,
you can do anything.
We have no power then. We the people are stronger than whoever you look at, whether it be the government or whoever. We the people are stronger than that, but we have to come together as
we have
people.
to have some kind of unity.
Yeah, but once we get everybody separated, it's a wrap. I just watched how easy, and I'm not, you do what's best for you, but I watched how easy it was for them to get people to stay in the house, put on a mask, go get several shots. We could say that. Just do all kind of things using, for the most part, fear to get this across. But I didn't think people would go that easy, but it was pretty easy. And now, like I said, once they got you isolated where you only listening to yourself, you don't have anybody to interact with, it's gonna be, I mean, they can put anything into your virtual world at that point. I'm off on another topic.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole AI thing, once we start doing that, it's like you said, it's gonna be where we're distanced from each other even more so.
Yeah. That's all, and that's all technology has done. I know I brought this up several times on the show. You go out to a restaurant or something, and you'll see a family sit down, and nobody talks to each other. They just, everybody's in their phone. Don't get me wrong, that phone is amazing.
It does amazing things, man.
I caught myself, be on there,
things.
and I look up and it's 3 hours later, and I'm like, oh man. But it's a time for everything. Put it down for an hour, or however many hours, and interact with human beings the way human beings were supposed to interact. But it's bad, man, and it's getting ready to get worse. But I like the topic for next week, though. The critical relationship theory.
Yeah. So what it's gonna actually be doing? I'm still in the process of like formatting stuff because there's so much information. I've been going back getting information. I've been on my phone too, looking at my phone for 3 hours. But looking up different articles and stuff from different time periods. And what I'm going to attempt to do, I'm gonna bring somebody in from like a generation of before us, right? And what I'm gonna attempt to do is try to outline, like, logically and with facts, how we get to this point, right? How we get to this point, the different factors, how we get to this point. We did a Cancers Our Community, right? And we kind of talked about it, but I purposely did not go into the whole the whole woman aspect of it, because we had, we didn't have representation, so I purposely didn't go into that.
Right.
I
Which
stayed
is,
away
I
from
think
that.
that's a great idea because you want it. I'm not to say necessarily that they have to defend themselves, but you want to at least have their say. Somebody from who represents,
Yeah. But and also the thing is too, if you get somebody from certain time periods, they get to tell you like what was the mindset. You get to understand like, oh, this is what we was going through. That's why this happened or whatever, or attempt to whatever. But it's back in the day we were limited with information, so
Oh man,
people made the decisions based on whatever they had around them at that that little
in,
small
in their little
community.
community or their circle, and that was good and that was bad. Just like this plethora of information we have now, it's got its positives and its negatives. I try to latch on to more of the positive of it, but I'm sure there's a lot of negatives that come along with it. But to me, that was the big divide, was information. You had the haves and the have-nots, based for the most part on information, knowing certain things. And now, even though it's a lot of bad information out there, you can find out anything you want if you really want to know. You just got to put in the work, use a deciphering mind, and make it happen, man.
I already reached out to Dr. Toya.
Okay.
So she's not gonna be part of the thing, but she's gonna be on in the comments,
Gotcha.
because there's gonna be certain things, if there's some kind of psychological whatever thing that we're missing, whatever, she's gonna give us the clinical terms for certain things or whatever. So I already reached out to her.
I'm making a point to argue with the doctor. Well, I don't think that
I don't think that's correct.
I'm gonna bring my psychology book and be like, hold on, let me see, let me look that up. I don't think you apply that incorrectly, Dr. Toy. That's gonna be my mission. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have her there just to kind of, because there's also certain topics I could go ahead and leak some of this too. Because after this conversation about that, we're gonna go into actually like son husbands, right? It's something I mean,
Hey,
you stupid.
I'm laughing because it's a real thing.
It's a real thing, and nobody talks about that.
It's
right?
a real
nobody
thing,
talks
man.
about
I'm
that.
laughing, and it's man,
and I think that's why our community screwed up.
I could go on a rant, man.
That's why our community screwed up, because we have so many, like 80% of the kids are, out of wedlock, single mothers, whatever. We have a whole thing, and that's where Dr. Toy comes in too, because she mentioned something about them. Like, damn, we right in the same place. I said, this is what I plan on doing. They said, okay, yeah, tag me in it so I could be there. So that's something we're gonna get into after that. So it might be like a 3-week or 4-week topic with the CRT.
Scared to get hot in the
but
winter
that's gonna be the subtopic is son husband. So
you get ready to make it hot in the
winter. We're gonna keep it hot during December. Yeah, it's gonna be a whole December thing. But
man, son
husband. And then just to let y'all know, I say this on ADHD Hour. Anybody that follows both sides, but we're gonna come away from Facebook. We're going strictly YouTube. We're going to one platform. We get off of Facebook, because
they keep locking you up.
No, it's just in case something, I don't want to be tied to someplace where I can't keep on, doing the content, or actually that happens and they control it. So we're going straight to YouTube, and we have other things we could do better on YouTube. Going straight to YouTube.
All right.
That's what it's strictly for. Facebook is something, we use.
What is what is it called? It was turned into Meta. What is it called?
Metaverse.
Yeah,
okay. Metaverse.
But what is so the whole purpose of Facebook is pretty much to connect with your
family, your family and everybody, keep up with everybody, and then then you have groups and stuff, and maybe network with different people. You can sell stuff on there.
Positive benefits, but you can fall prey to the traps too.
Yeah, with this metaverse, it's gonna be a whole new economy though. I've been looking into NFTs.
Let's get into it. We need to get some of this money, man.
It's gonna be crazy. It's like it's virtual stuff, and it's like you could pay money for it, and you could get crazy money.
My son asked me about NFTs last night.
Okay, yeah, it's crazy.
It's they are selling, what is it?
Virtual, that 8.
Virtual real estate.
Oh yeah, virtual real estate too. Yeah.
So people are buying up the virtual world already. So we might be too late.
Crazy.
We might have missed out on the
virtual.
It's crazy,
man.
Land, so
it's crazy. Nah, I think that's unlimited unless they run out of
It
damn.
depends on who's creating the
Yeah,
platform.
true,
They can be like,
true.
hey, this all, hey, once this last acre gone, you can't get in.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what makes things more valuable was when they make it exclusive.
Yeah, when they make
when they
exclusive.
limit it.
Yeah.
So that's gonna, I'll probably be left out in the cold with
You ain't
no
gonna have
VR
no land,
glasses.
man. You ain't gonna have no
I ain't
land.
gonna
I'm
have
gonna
no
go and
VR.
get me some land so I can have someplace. I'm gonna be on land, have farm and everything, have some
Right.
food, and give me have a bunch of
Have that utopia.
topless women over there doing farming.
Right. Breaking the leaves.
Yeah, farming out here.
Tilling the farm.
You're gonna be missing out.
Yeah, man.
Being this virtual pimping over here.
Right.
But
I'm be in this old stupid real world.
man, this shit is plain. Look at it.
Where everybody at? I'm like,
Damn ceilings and shit.
Where is it?
I gotta pay for power. Y'all free over there.
Right. I'm be out here looking for everybody.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what I got, man. What you got? Anything else?
I don't, man. I'm excited about these topics that's coming up. This, and hopefully we can get some guests on here because I enjoy me and you talking, but it's good to have some other people come in here and mix it up a little bit.
Nigga, you don't like talking to me?
Well, we kind of know how we.
Oh
each other
yeah,
feel,
yeah. We've been around each other now.
So
Yeah,
it's good to get some other people just to hear it, just to see what people think. So that's
good. So we won't have an echo chamber here because that's something that you need.
Because you don't want to fall into that trap because it's very easy to.
Mhm.
You think, man, this is how the world is, and So yeah, that's great, and I really like the opposition, and I don't mean it in a
Negative way. Yeah.
negative way. Just somebody just to give me a different perspective. Not to say you're gonna change my mind, but I'm always willing to listen.
But you have to have that. And that's what you was talking about. How people, if you to go against something, you have to have that in order for you to broaden your horizon, for you to expand the way you think. You have to have some kind of opposition.
When I look at who I was 20 years ago, I'm not gonna say I'm a complete 180, but my thoughts were completely different on the world, people, on everything 20 years ago. I had some life experiences that showed me something different than what I thought. I was I had a certain background where I grew up in and thought a certain thing, and then I had to see a bigger world, and then it really, my eyes really opened then. But so you got to have that opposition because that's going to make you grow. You got to stretch. It's going to stretch you out and force you to grow. Actually, if you are open minded.
If you're open minded, if you not close when you hear something you don't like, you don't close your ears automatically instead of trying to listen to it, process it, and then spit your views out against that. Check your views against whatever's going on and see how it comes back.
Right.
So,
versus listening to respond, listen to get some understanding, because that's we lack a lot of understanding in the world today. Listen to understand, and then when you understand and it still doesn't jive for what you want, then you say, okay, well, see, I understand what you're saying here, but this is where I'm coming from when it comes to that. But a lot of times we listen to respond. I know I'm guilty of that.
No, it's a human thing, I think. So I don't think that's not one gender, that's not one person thing. It's
everybody want to be right.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Everybody want to be right. You want to feel good and all this other stuff.
You want to get that dopamine hit. Oh yeah, I had that. I told that mug.
Got him.
Got his ass. Got his ass. Bingo. So that's cool, man. That's cool. This got some good topics coming.
And also, what you was talking about a couple of weeks ago about on the tail end of this, I want to bring some young men on. I think my son, my nephew, and you could bring your son on.
Oh yeah.
And we could talk about certain things geared towards the young men, because we need to start mentoring the youth, because I think the adults 21 and over, pretty much you got what you got. I mean, you got what you got, but the ones under the youth, they're going to be in a world that they don't know the world we knew. The world we knew is dying off. The people that knew what we knew,
it's going to be things that they would never experience.
They've never experienced. So we have to bring in that younger generation to try to, while we still have people that understand what was going on, try to get them in here and impart some of this knowledge.
Put up a bridge, So,
hey,
look, because it's a gap here. Y'all missing out on this stuff.
A big gap. This is a big gap. Because majority of these youngsters, young men, don't have that father figure in their house to where they don't get to hear certain things. And I'm gonna run that commercial all week. I'm gonna pay for it to get promoted and everything, so I get as many people, to see the commercial and try to come on over here.
So
but also I want to reach out and let them know, the women that are, because we have women that look at this more than men probably, but so they could know that, you know, if you have your young men, you need to bring them over here so we could start, we give us some topics. If you want us to talk to your young men about certain things, hey,
or
hit
just,
us up and we'll make that happen.
Right, or let them talk to us about certain things, certain questions they have. And so often we want to dictate the conversation. But a lot of these young people have something to say, but we don't give them the platform or the opportunity to say it. We can learn not necessarily from what they're giving us, but just what they're dealing with, on a day-to-day basis. Because I don't have a clue. I know what high school was for me, or middle school. Well, I didn't go to middle school, but I knew what high school was for me. But it's something completely different now, but with a lot of the same aspects. But things have changed, so it's all good. All right. Good show.
So we're gonna see y'all next week. Like I said, I'm gonna be running this commercial. If anybody that catches this after, because there's only 1 or 2 people that's watching this, whatever, right now, share this video, share the commercial, whatever. Anybody that you know that wants to talk about the Black community, that wants to try to understand, want to try to give their points of views, whatever we come up with when we talk about it next week, they want to give their points of view and share some light on what they think was going on or how can we be better. Tell them to come over here, man. We're going to talk about it.
Absolutely. Sounds good, man.
So,
sounds good.
That's it.
So we'll see y'all. Yeah. That's good. It's perfect. We'll see y'all Tuesday. But it's gonna get hot in December, baby. That's the theme for this month.
So hot in. So hot in here. All right. Let me see y'all next week.
All right, take it easy.
All right. Peace.